Alright, we're back with another track guide. We're at Dover, one of my favorite tracks. So we're just going to jump into it with the keys of the race car because, yeah, obviously one is tires. That hasn't changed for a while. The rears are the ones that kind of seem to suffer the most at this track because of just the way it wants to fling you to the right. Number 2, it's going to be banking transitions. They happen to... they transition. I don't know where I was going with that, but you get my point. From flat to banking, banking back to flat. And number 3, the pit road, which you'll see here shortly. You just got to get it down to 35 miles per hour, and that itself is pretty tricky. It feels like it should be faster, but yeah. So we'll go ahead and get to pit road, and then we'll talk about the lap. Alright, making our way to pit road. Enter 3-leg normal, except we never get back on the throttle. All downshifting while trying to get to 35 miles per hour. Really slow pit road. Don't want to screw that up because, well, look how slow this is. To the fact that even speeding it up feels like an eternity. There's your pit speed limit. Keep it in the black because that's where the line is. You don't see it, but that's where it's at. And your cone's right out of 2 right there. So, onto the lap. Alright, so fixed weather, fixed weather. You probably saw the weather earlier. Pretty hot. 113 track temp. Or something like that. So usually these are done on the second lap, but this one actually gave me my better lap on the first lap, which was a chore because this car is not in the track at all. Well, it is, but it's weird. Like, you're constantly fighting it. Like, the side of it trying to throw you out the window. So I actually didn't make any changes to the fix set because I was just using what it threw at me, and I kind of didn't mind it. So anyways, we'll see how this lap was done, and we'll talk about it. And there you go for 321, which I don't know where that really stands, but it's not terrible, but feels like we're slower than last year. So let's back that up. All right, so you can actually hear the little chirp of the right rear wheel when I about smacked the wall out of 4, but yeah. Now here's one thing I need to mention. We were talking about tires, right? Like, you really got to be smooth into the entry in the race because it'll just chew them up. But this lap's more about, speed, so let's make our way into 1. I immediately got a slow-mo just because it's not a very big track. So let me really slow-mo here, and I'm actually going to pause the minute I get off the throttle. Actually, right here. Looking at the Auto Trader sign, down there by that wall, and green cone on pit exit. Which obviously you don't want to hit, or something like that. So this is where one of those transitions of banking is going to happen, which is why I'm doing a slow-mo. Because pretty much as we're going over that, we're going to slightly get on the brakes. Too much and the front end will smack the track. So you lift off the throttle about here. Little tiny bit of brake just enough to make sure the car slows down. And you kind of hold that to keep it slowing down. And here it's already starting to drift up. I didn't do anything to the steering input. I'm going to try to here, but you can see we use the throttle to get the car to rotate. And the steering should open back up as we're approaching right against the apron here. Kind of like a diamond, if you will. Like you already saw that effect, so let's make our way into 3. We're going to do another little pause because there's another banking transition. This time under the middle walkway there. This one's a little trickier because you don't have much to go off of. I'm pointing right to where the apron is. I know you can't see it, but my mouse would be moving right there, but I'll do a line. I'm going to aim it for that. There's a little tiny separation of the wall that you will never see. Pretty much we're going to get on the brakes as we're going under that walkway. So we should be lifting brakes. hold the brake just like we did, but not nearly as long. There's more. It turns in better here, but it's the same approach. Enter really low next to the apron. Let it drift up. Use the throttle to get it to rotate. You can see I never added more steering input. We kind of just let the throttle take care of it, drive us back down. And I fought it here the entire time, which is why I about killed the wall. So just watch that real quick. You see right there, it's really close. Then you power off and bam. Alright, that's it for this track guide. Not really that in depth because, well, it's a short oval. There's really not much to talk about. Unlike those road courses, you know, there was a lot to go through. And I don't really know where we're at next week. I want to say some fun track, but can't be entirely sure. Anyways, some reason to be side.